Now this video is specifically for the ushers at St. Joseph, since some things will be changing, and actually for what you guys do fairly dramatically, frankly. So we'll ask you to come at least 20 minutes early, and the idea being to make sure that everything is in its place, okay? One of the things you'll need to do is to make sure that the offertory basket and table is in its place here. Actually, this should really never move, but make sure it's in its place. We'll set up the ropes for entrance. You'll see that there's a set of ropes. We've got one set up for entry, one set up for exit right now. So the rope that's used for entry, notice it's not really very tied off. We don't want this because in case it winds up being a fire situation, we need to be able to get this rope down quickly. So if people start coming out the side door, that's fine. But we don't want people to leak in and out the sides, because then they'll try to go around your control. All right, so it's important that we funnel people into church so that the ushers can. So now we're talking about the ropes here. The ropes, again, they need to be only loosely done so that they can come down quickly in case of a fire situation. But there are a way of controlling people going in and out of church. We need them under the usher's control, okay? So this is an example of a rope set up for entry. When we get to the end of Mass, you'll see this rope. It's the exact same rope that would be used on the other side that's used to set up for exit. Because again, we don't want people to congregate in the wings at the end of Mass. So the ropes here at the end of Mass will funnel people outside. We need them to keep moving. And that's going to be part of your responsibility, is to keep people moving so that they can maintain proper social distance, okay? So when people come in, they'll be asked to, place their offerings in the basket, because there will not be a collection. That's going to be another change for you. Nor will there be an offertory procession. All the gifts will already be up on the altar. So you won't need to do a collection. You won't need to bring up the gifts, okay? So that's another change for you. But when people come in, you'll be escorting them up to the front. We want to fill the church from front to back. It allows us to be the most efficient in terms of getting the space filled, okay? Now, our goal here is to get to 25% capacity if possible. So you'll seat people in the pews. Family units can be seated together without any space restrictions, but then there needs to be a 6-foot gap distance between a family or an individual and another individual or another family. All right, so you want to efficiently fill the pews front to back, noticing that every other pew has been roped off. So front to the back, we're going to fill the church. When it comes to communion, things are going to be different. We won't really need you to escort people out of the pews. We'll have people come row by row, and they'll need to maintain their distance. There's no way of using you to be able to guide people out of the pews, because you'd be within their social distance barrier. It'd be kind of difficult. So people will probably organically figure out the flow that they need to do for communion, and I'll make announcement of it, especially on the first weekend, on how that flow will go. So the next thing we'll have to deal with is exit. And exit is going to be interesting, because we'll need the 2 ushers in 2 different places, right? We're going to need one usher at the side door, because we're going to allow this, as I'm looking out from the altar, the right-hand side, to go exit out the side door. People will not be allowed. It'll be locked. But of course, the crash bar will be there, that if someone needed to go out for an emergency or at the end of Mass, that crash bar will be there. But it'll be exit only. So you can dismiss people out and keep them moving to get all the way outside and into the parking lot. If they want to congregate there, as long as they're maintaining 6 feet of distance, that's up to them. But no gathering here in church, all right? So the usher that'll be posted up here will need to keep people moving. Keep them moving, get them outside, okay? The other usher will be controlling the exit from front to back, or from back to front, I'm sorry. And so we'll start out dismissing people in the furthest back pew. And then, again, you're staying ahead of them. Dismissing people out this next pew and going back and forth and back and forth. And eventually this side is going to get emptier first because some of them are going out the side. And so that other usher that's at the side door can actually start escorting people from the front to go out the side door in order to facilitate everyone coming out. But again, the ropes will be in place back here because we don't want any gathering in the back. That's been our norm for a long time. It just can't happen now. All right? So it's to guide people to get out of here. And once they're outside, they want to gather in the grass or parking areas or whatever. That's up to them. They just got to maintain their distance from one another. Right, so that's kind of how things will work for ushers out at St. Joe's. We just also invite you that after Mass, to make sure that the basket gets to the front so that it can be bagged and put into the safe, because the basket will probably be there at the end of Mass for anybody who didn't put collections in as they came in. But make sure that the basket gets safely in the hand of the sacristan or the counter or dom, so that the money gets placed in the safe, and then we should be good to go. All right, so that's how things should work out here at St. Joe's. Thank you for all you're doing to help us. I know it's going to be quite a change, but we need your help. So thank you very much.